So now that the midterms are over, what do we do now? Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. So today is Wednesday. What do we do now, girl? As you all have been watching the news, a couple of folks that we thought was going to win lost. From Andrew Gillum in Florida over the governor race to Beto over in Texas that was running the Senate race against the Zodiac killer, honey. Ted Cruz to Stacey Abrams in Georgia. Just like losses upon losses, and it was kind of depressing last night. As like I said, it was just depressing last night. I stayed up a little bit, but then the negative news kept coming in, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just go to bed, because looking at some of the polls and stuff, it looks like Andrew Gillum was going to win. Looking at the polls, it looks like their home girl, Stacey Abrams, is going to win as well. Then you look at the polls for Beto, it looked like he was going to win as well. And these people were fighting more, especially Stacey Abrams, were fighting more than just getting people to the polls. She was fighting white supremacy, like on the ground. Like she was fighting voter suppression. Like I'm reading an article about the Atlantic, and I put it in the post. I put it below. And they just basically just did a whole rundown of all the voter suppression that Brian Kemp was doing. Like, this was the man that was overseeing, like, the election committee. Like, he was the person over there. He is responsible. He's been holding that whole position since 2010, girl. And he is not ashamed to admit that he is the person in charge of that. Like, he did not recuse himself. He never did say, let me, you know what, this doesn't look good. And in any other country, like the article said, if the Secretary of State would have saw that, like how they would have questioned the legitimacy of this election. Like, this shit sounds like some stuff that happens in countries where we say like they like this a dictatorship and shit. And it makes me think about how much folks try to say that America is like the best country. America has the best brand of making themselves look like they are not what the other countries are. But basically, America is the same goddamn thing. They are the same thing. If you look at all the tactics that this man used, I don't blame Stacey Abrams for right now for her not conceding. I don't blame her at all. She looked at the polls, she looked at the information she saw, and she said she saw the rolls. She was like, look, these folks, these African Americans are not registered to vote. The ones that are trying to get registered to vote, the fucking votes are not being counted. They can't even get registered because this exact match bullshit. Like, Stacey Abrams is on, and you know what? Brian Kemp saw that. He saw this educated black woman that was after him, and after all of the shit that he is rooting for. Like, this commercial, even his commercial talking about that he's like a Trump supporter. Like, it's just, I cannot deal with it. I just cannot. And sitting here considering all the things that I have going on right now, it's depressing as hell to even see this, because I feel for this woman. Like, I feel for her. Like, she had a hard campaign. She was on the ground. She was doing this stuff. Like, and it just wasn't enough because she could not fight voter suppression. Then we get over to Texas with the Beto race. White people are on Twitter blaming Beyonce for not posting the picture earlier to support Beto. If you look at the damn information of who voted, white men and white women voted for Ted Cruz. The majority, a lot of their ass. They did the same thing in fucking Georgia. They did the same shit in Florida. White people do not care about Trump, his tax records. They don't care about any of that shit. They don't care about his human rights tax. They don't care. They don't care. I need people to realize that. Yes, the Democrats have taken over the House. Now Maxine is in charge of the some committee that can pull Trump's tax records and all that type of shit, bank records and all that type of shit. None of that shit matters. I need for people to understand that. None of that shit matters. We cannot be going focused and losing what is inside. We cannot turn this into a stop Trump type of situation. We cannot. It's not going to work. And white folks don't have any problems with this shit. They don't care about any of that. And I think people need to understand what the real issue is. Like, the real issue, like, I think we've lost focus of what it is that we want, and people are highly focused on just stopping Trump, and it's not going to work. And for folks who were dragging folks for not voting, especially people of color, black folks are not the problem when it comes to voting. If you look at the goddamn shit, we are still minorities, okay? I don't think folks understand it. Folks were dragging folks. I'm so tired of hearing people talking about something. You didn't vote, you voted, you didn't vote, it doesn't do anything, it does do something. I'm so sick of that goddamn conversation. No one gives a damn. Like, it's not black folks. Like, I'm just tired. I just really had to go and mute folks off of Facebook and Twitter because I'm just like,
shut the fuck up. Goddamn, nigga.
Like, y'all ass don't fucking get it. Y'all spend so much time arguing about who needs to vote or who ain't voting versus fucking fixing the goddamn problem. Like, I don't mind folks saying that, oh, I'm not voting, I'm voting, and y'all asses need to get out here and vote. I didn't see no black folks in line. Even if 100% of black folks took their ass to the goddamn polls, some of their ass gonna get turned the fuck around. Some of their ass is not gonna be able to vote because, like, it's just a lot of shit, and I don't think people get it. Even on Twitter, people were saying it only takes 10 minutes. This shit is some strong shit, bitch. It takes way more. When I went to fucking early voting, bitch, motherfucking line was wrapped around the goddamn corner. Like, nobody doesn't have time to sit around 3-4 hours when they trying to pay some goddamn bills. You want me to take 4 hours off of fucking work to go goddamn vote? More than likely, I'm not going to see my goddamn party or person I'm voting for win because my ass is still the fucking minority. And I've missed half my goddamn check. I'm already late as hell paying my goddamn bills. And I got to pay this goddamn babysitter extra for going overtime. Like, I don't think people look into the bigger picture. I think some of us are just so focused on what we got going on that we expect everybody else to have the same shit. No, bitch. Okay, some folks ain't got a place to live. Some folks ain't got no goddamn money to put in their goddamn car. Folks talking about some, oh, well, a lift was free. Bitch, hoes don't even have access to a goddamn debit card. You look at a lot of black folks and brown folks don't even have fucking checking accounts, bitch. That's why you got shit like fucking Cash App and these other things that are preying on folks who are in poverty. Like, I don't think folks get it. Like, it's just black and white. I promise you it's not. It may seem like it, but it's not. It is not just straightforward as some of us see it. And it's just irritating. My heart goes out to Stacey Abrams. I feel so bad for her. Andrew Gillum, feel bad for him too. Like, that man that he ran against, I'm not gonna say his name, was racist. He like, they were saying stuff like cotton picking, monkeying around. Like, these folks just don't care. And I'm gonna tell you what, these old white people, as much as we talk about them, they need to go on to the next pasture or whatever, they're not, because they have access to resources to keep their ass alive to 90 and 100. You had so many tweets from 100-year-old old white women talking about them, this is their first time voting and all types of stuff. Like, these folks can hold on, like, they can hold on to themselves for the longest. Like, it is history. We're not going to be able to undo this shit in no goddamn 8 fucking years. It's just not gonna happen. I think a lot of us got comfortable during the Obama years. A lot of us, because I didn't understand politics to 100% like I thought I did. Still don't completely understand it now, but I'm getting better than I was several years ago. I think a lot of us got comfortable, and even Obama administration was doing stuff that was not for the best of black and brown folks. Like, if you look deep, it's deeper than that. But some of us saw, somebody out here looks like me doing it because we've never seen it before. So we didn't pay attention to the little things that he was doing that was affecting us. And now, like, we see a white man that is clearly racist, that clearly does not care about black folks, does not care about brown folks. And his whole party is pushing this agenda of, oh, the caravans are coming from, they use fear tactics, the same shit that the Bush administration used back in 2000. Bitch, I think it's 2004, like, they use fear tactics. Like, girl, the shit is so prevalent that folks even do that shit when like, they make jokes about it on Family Guy and these other shows. Like, fear tactics fucking work. They work, especially for white folks. Them white folks were scared. They were terrified of some folks that don't look like them coming to take over their country, so-called country. It's just a goddamn mess. And I honestly don't know what we do now. I think it's very depressing. I think black folks have a reason to say, look, I'm not taking my ass vote. Like, I am tired. I think, like my friend Elijah said, sometimes folks are just tired. Like, sometimes folks will call it laziness. Some folks are just exhausted. I'm in that position right now. I am exhausted of trying to make it work. I'm tired of folks telling me it's going to get better. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Like, I don't want to hear it's going to get better, stay focused, do all that shit. Sometimes a bitch just say, you know what? That's why I think it's important for us to learn important language and stop saying that people committed suicide or whatever. People are dying by suicide because the system, whatever the fuck, the goddamn systematic bullshit that is going on in this country is killing people. People are tired of trying to make it work. People are tired of going to fucking work for a goddamn company that's not paying their ass even a livable wage, and the fact that they're relying on the fucking government to assist them, and the fucking big corporations and shit out here paying these folks fucking pennies to a goddamn dollar, and out here fucking making billions of dollars in fucking revenue. Like, this, like, it is bigger than we think it is. And before you be one of those folks who come out and say, well, people stand in line and they stand in line for shoes and iPhones, at least if I stand my ass in line for a new iPhone or a new pair of shoes, at least I know I'm gonna fucking get it if I got enough goddamn money. Okay, at least that. Let these folks have some type of joy. Like, let these people live. Like, and the same folks who out here saying the same dumb shit to the same motherfuckers who passing bitches up, who stand on the goddamn road asking for fucking money. Like, homeless people out here standing by the goddamn on the corner asking for a couple of dollars, and you rolling your goddamn window up. I don't want to hear this bullshit. It's talking about something. You need to get in line. If you think that's the only goddamn thing that's gonna get us forward, you a damn fool. And your ass is blind as hell. Some of y'all ass just need to shut the fuck up. Let these other folks who are out here organizing and out here rallying folks to have these conversations, because some of us just don't seem to get it, and the issue is deeper than what we think it is. It's not black folks not standing in line, because even when black folks are standing in line, this shit still ain't making a big ass fucking difference. If you look at this shit, black women went to the polls, black men went to the goddamn polls, and still look what the fuck they got. White supremacists still fucking won at the end of the goddamn day. Still fucking. If you look at Texas, you still had a higher percentage of Latinx people voting for fucking Ted Cruz, for a man who doesn't even consider himself as a like, he doesn't even want to talk about that shit. Like, it just, white supremacy ends up winning at the end of the fucking day. Why do you think he has a name like Ted? Like, whoo, girl. That's it. I'm irritated. I'm irritated, and I think all of us have a reason to be upset and angry at the things that are going on. And I think that we need to learn to accept folks who are tired of voting, and accept folks who are voting to do work and stuff. Like, they think that it is what it is. Like, both of us don't have the goddamn answers. Neither one of us have the answers. Like, girl, I don't want to see any more people on social media, as far as, like, especially my personal Facebook page. I don't want to see folks talking about something, y'all didn't get your ass to the polls, y'all didn't get to the vote, because y'all are missing the point. White folks are out here doing this shit. So white people, I don't want to hear you talking to black folks. I don't want you to hear like that tap dancing ass, shimmying ass Sigma that y'all love so goddamn much. Adrian dragged his ass on Twitter too, talking about some white women out here. But no, it was white men and women. You need to go talk to your white fucking counterparts. You need to talk to their asses and figure out what the fuck the issue is. You need to go talk to your great aunt, your auntie, and your damn uncles and figure out what the hell they're going. And your kissing cousins too. You need to go talk to them and figure out what the issue is. This shit is sad and it's depressing, and I don't want white folks to talk to black people at all about voting. Y'all need to talk to y'all goddamn people. Y'all the ones out here fucking up the goddamn system for everybody else, and because y'all ass want y'all to remain in goddamn power. Y'all think somebody taking some shit from y'all ass that y'all had for the last 100 million goddamn years. That's all I got. I'm done.